Hello, everyone. My name is Christina Steele, and I want to thank everyone for taking the time to listen to this presentation. Today, I'll be talking about Carlsberg Group and emerging markets. I'll be discussing ways the company's strategy may be improved and how they can obtain a better competitive position. So, just a brief history, Carlsberg Group was founded in 1847 by J.C. Jacobson. He took over the brewery after his father's death. After tremendous success, J.C. Jacobson opened his own brewery, which he named after his son, Carl Jacobson. Now, the brewery was to cope with the high demand for his new lager beer. Jacobson became internationally recognized and began exporting beers in 1868. He went on to win many international prizes and in 1871 opened a second brewery for his son Carl to run. Now, in the end, the two had a falling out. Carl did go on to manage breweries, but J.C. Jacobson name lives on. So just take a look at Carlsberg today. Operates in three regions: Western Europe, Eastern Europe, and Asia. It's employing over 45,000 people, over 500 beer brands. The brand is known all over the world, which also includes Tuborg, Baltica, and Kronenbourg. They have local partnership, which allows for local strength. Right now, they're aiming to be the fastest growing global brewer, looking to strengthen their competitive advantage, and we're looking in emerging markets. Okay, now next we're going to look at the strategic analysis just to kind of show where Carlsberg is in comparison to its competitors. Here is the strategic group analysis. Now, as you can see, some of the competitors that I've listed is Heineken, InBev, we've got SAB Miller, and Anheuser-Busch. Now, looking at this from top to bottom, you've got high cost toward the top, low cost towards the bottom, most global towards the right, and more regional to the left. Now, as you can see, Carlsberg falls right smack in the middle when we're talking about as global and compared to its competitors, but it is on the higher end of cost when you're looking at the cost of the products. Heineken is kind of similar. The cost is a little bit lower. Now, InBev is obviously its most global and the lowest cost. So it is the biggest competitor to Carlsberg Group. Now to go deeper into explaining the competitive position, we're going to look at the Porter's five forces. So here we're going to be looking at new entrants threat, the buyer power, substitute products, and supplier power. Now ultimately in the middle, your current rivalry is high. We have multiple competitors, including large chains with long history that are very global, just as Carlsberg Group is. The new entrants threat is moderate. Entrance barriers are fairly high just because brand loyalty is high, but there is a high demand and new entrants would have to have a strong distribution network required. Now for supplier power, buyer power, and substitute products, they're all fairly going to be moderate to high. Now the reason for this is going to be brand loyalty. Even though there's a low switching cost and there's numerous types of products, that brand loyalty is going to bring it down to moderate. Substitute products, same thing. You've got your Busch, your Miller Lite, Blue Ribbon, your Mexican beers. Brand loyalty, it's going to still bring it back to moderate. And supplier power, you have a crowded market and a large number of substitute inputs. And again, brand loyalty. So a lot of these could be high, but because that loyalty is so strong, it brings it back into the moderate field. So next we're going to look at the SWOT analysis. So looking at the strengths of Carlsberg Group, you're looking at unique packaging, brand loyalty, the global presence, but of course the other competitors have that global presence as well. Excellent marketing. Your weaknesses is the penetration is market is low, which we talked about. The barriers to entry is high. Recently, there's less innovation in the past couple of years for Carlsberg. Opportunities, the spending power for the consumers is increasing. And threats, you're looking at competitive low prices, which we looked at on the strategy analysis, the stricter laws for drunk driving, and possible misuse of the brand. So lastly, we're going to look at the strategies, the move into Russia and China, the move into the emerging markets. So the strategy currently right now is grow organically by capturing market share and rapid growth and higher earnings for Russia. For China, long-term growth through buildup of market positions. So I've listed a few improvements, some business level, some corporate level. One would be identifying the market niche. What is the thing that that specific area needs that no one else has? Now looking just into basic into the regions, China typically drinks grain-based alcohol near the holidays. The low alcohol content beers are in high demand. Have we meet these changes and these demands? It could definitely get us into a higher competitive position. Second, smart mergers stay local. You want to stay local and add to the local economy. Doing so, this builds strength in your relationship with that market. And lastly, your value creating strategy, which is your corporate level strategy, diversification. Different beers, different needs, different wants. You have to meet those to get that strength. Now, based on my evaluation and the transition history into China and Russia that Carlsberg Group has made, implementing the recommendations on the previous slide would in fact help Carlsberg Group. I do believe they'd be moving into the upward direction in 2017 and 18, and in fact they have made improvement in 2016. I think their strategic position is in a great location, and I do think slight improvements could help. I want to thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope it has been informative. Thank you.